The emotion coup of divorce rate can be hard to transactions in, but so too can the finance implications. The trial, were it to go all the way to a disputed definitive trial listening, can in himself price more than rather than £30,000, cash expert propose. On top of how, the community may go in its own finance pressures. Lawyers and charities say how down there are ways to hold the price downward, but how implacable couples must as well go in a divorce rate or dissolving of their civilian association in their eyes outdoor to the capacity finance compress. To nobody embarking on the travel, down there's no pleasant way to put the keys potential to be a course way front, that conducted its duty both of emotionally and financially, says Sarah Coles, private financial analysis at InvestPlate Hargreaves Lansdowne. Though in cautious planner and a reasonable attitude, it wouldn't be convenient. Study by underwriter Aviva suggests 16% of couples who individual as well buy a new household, conducting an ordinary of £144,600. Cash matters get an ordinary of 14.5 months to settle down following a break, it adds. More than data, the largest evident way to hold downward the price of a divorce rate or dissolving is to go to an treaty out of the use of solicitors or some professionals, especially if it is an friendly break. In Scotland, the make-it-yourself stock option is set out in law and named simplistic divorce rate or dissolving. Just specific couples can use the order. For sample, it is not accessible for such in family elderly by 16. In Northern Ireland, couples include to seem in man up a magistrate in each a shire trial or a top trial. Yet, they can seem in trial as a private applicant, out of possessing to use a lawyer. In England and Wales, couples can do it themselves or use a cheap cost on the internet facility. Yet, Katie O'Callaghan, of Boodle Hatfield Lawyers, alerted how nobody lacked to get definitive, legislative adoption on their finance transactions of a trial, named as a agreement procedure, can discover themselves object to a complaint of their former partner in the year front. It is not quite for couples to accept among themselves on a shake hands and believe how the will defend them in the next, she says. Legislative expenses can readily stack up, and though solicitors, while at first consulted, will verify if dividing couples include tested expensive alternatives. The largest famous of these is intermediation. The is not relation consulting. It can assist human beings to accept on how to share holdings such as cash, characteristic, saving and investment. Legislative aid is accessible to assist such on low incomes in the price. Next, intermediation, a lawyer can paint up the agreement procedure. Couples in more than facility issues, or who failure to accept, will go to a lawyer. The expenses implicated can band up to £1,000 to £3,000 for a agreed finance community, up to £30,000 advantage VAT if a disputed instance goes via trial, on to the cash consultation facility. Couples in the trial of a divorce rate or dissolving can use to a trial, at a price of £255, for a finance procedure. The relating areas such as a chunk sum fee, property of a characteristic, routine support payments to assist in family or residing cost, and a stake of a affiliate's retirement payments. Eventually, in lot cases, a magistrate will solve how the pair's holdings are separated among the pair. The judgment will be relying on the long of the wedding or civilian association, the ages of the parties implicated, their capacity to earn money, their characteristic and cash, their residing cost, and their norm of residing. The roles played, such as breadwinners or initial carers, will as well be deliberate. The magistrate will do institutional arrangement for any family at first, particularly their habitation institutional arrangement and kid support, if down there are not quite holdings to go about. Ms. O'Callaghan, of Boodle Hatfield, suggests how following a break it is essential for couples to support the finance organization in the domestic how they had preliminary to the division. So, for sample, if the man pays the hypothec, he should go on to do so. How is since compliance the identical finance institutional arrangement will do the trial transactions simpler. She adds how courts include broad-ranging powers to discover any lie holdings, so individuals should not squirrel such off, yet sarcastic the break. Individuals can as well discover themselves worst off rather than they anticipated if they live in a new affiliate. If they are residing along, the finance of the new affiliate can be undertaken in expense for a divorce rate community in the former partner. If they are not cohabiting, later such a finance will be neglected. Eventually, if a pair's finance are more than facility, it is potential to price more than, in both of period and cash, to achieve entreaty.